Hello, this is Swiftyland, a civilization project made by me. This is actually my history project for anyone watching this on YouTube. Hi, my history teacher. Love ya. So, huge credit to my friend who made this. She drew this after seeing my monstrosity, which you will see in a few slides. And then, huge credit to literally anybody who photographed any of these photos, because there's only one that is actually mine. And it's beautiful. But none of the other pictures are mine. I do not take credit for them. Anyways, first up is the geography of Swiftyland. Swiftyland was a kingdom in the sky on clouds and floating islands. There were 5 large floating islands, and they were called isles. And each isle was named something different, and the one in the center was known as the Tete Retreat, which here it is up here. It's beautiful, aka this stone rock here. The Heart Islands here were Evermore Isle and Enchanted Isle. The other, they almost look like shadows. These were the Meredith Isle here and the Willow Isle here. And then the neighboring civilizations. Swiftyland was the only civilization in the sky, so contact with outsiders was incredibly rare unless they were from Lanalandia. So the only reason I am mentioning this all is because my friend actually made Lanalandia for her history project, but it's hilarious. It's on Lana Del Rey rather than Taylor Swift. So Swiftyland residents, also known as Swifties, trade with Lanalandians for materials not accessible on the island. And fun fact, some Swifties jumped or fell off the island. This got to the point that a massive trampoline was installed at the heart of Lanalandia to prevent further casualties or deaths. This trampoline worked wonders, and almost no one died after, except for the unlucky few. I'm so sorry for them. Next up is the religion of Swiftyland, and they practice Swiftism. So they created and followed a monotheistic religion, which means that they worship one god, known as Swiftism. This was the worshipping of the Queen Taylor Swift. And if you actually look up Swiftism on like the Urban Dictionary, you will find that it's actually a thing for Taylor Swift and for like Conan Gray and Olivia Rodrigo. I did not find that out until I searched it up, so this has nothing to do with that, except for the fact that it's Taylor Swift. I just came up with Swiftism. It's perfect for Taylor Swift. Like, I had no idea, which is hilarious. And then 2 common ways Swifties practice Swiftism are listening to 5 Taylor Swift songs shortly upon waking up each morning and attending weekly Taylor Swift concerts on the Enchanted Isle. So, as you can see, this is the Enchanted Isle. This is the one where the concerts happen and songs are made as trade, which I will get into a little bit further detail. Next are the achievements of Swiftyland. Everyday life, discoveries, and inventions. So Swifties needed to reference a Taylor Swift song at least once per conversation or sentence, and a normal conversation would sound like this. You need to calm down. You're being too loud.
Don't blame me.
That's it. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
We got problems, and I don't really think we can solve them. But baby, now we got bad blood.
To my sister for being person B in this conversation. And then Swiftyland figures are credited with the domestication of cats and the creation of music. Evermore Isle had many museums and shrines dedicated to Taylor Swift. So Evermore Isle was for the museums and shrines, and Enchanted Isle was for the music. So almost every painting and sculpture in the museums and shrines included her and her cats. If it wasn't, it was album art or something like that, you know? But it had to do with Taylor Swift to be in a part of the Evermore museums. Shrines were a common place for worship among Swifties. These shrines were also on Evermore Isle, and this was a place of prayer, and people would go there on a weekly basis. Some crazies went on a daily. I don't think they're crazy, it's a lot of work. Next up is the politics. Please do not spam me in the comments on how horrible these image qualities are. When you stretch it out, it looks bad. I could not find any better ones. So here is the political structure of it. So rulers and their rules. So it's going to prepare for a lot of rule words. Like, so the rulers Swiftyland only had 2 rulers. They reigned at the same time together. The rulers' names were Queen Andrea and King Scott. And if you are not a Swiftie, those are her parents' names. So Queen Andrea made an alliance with Lizzie Grant, the ruler of Lanalandia, and this truce made Lanalandians and Swifties very, very close. King Scott was removed from the throne after breaking the rules of being a ruler. After Queen Andrea passed, Swiftyland was free from a leader. Her mom has not passed yet, but I had to add it somehow. Their rulers' rules was that they had so they basically had a specific set of guidelines that they had to follow in order to stay in charge. And these rules were, 1, they must refuse service to any non-Swiftism follower unless they're from Lanalandia, because the truce that Queen Andrea made, they don't have to be refused service. They're actually really popular and really helpful, so we're going to be nice to them. You must listen to the people's wants and needs unless it is a non-Swiftism follower, and you must follow Swiftism. The non-Swiftism followers were not appreciated at all. Economy of Swiftyland. My sister pointed out that the thing is going down. Like, oh, why is the economy going down in Swiftyland? I found this image. I thought it was cool. I didn't put together that the economy was going down. Anyways, there's jobs and their trades and all that stuff, you know. So for jobs, Swiftyland had 2 different forms of jobs. The sky fisher, and these people basically threw their fishing lines off the island to the Lanalandia workers below, and then the Lanalandia workers would hook a bucket up to it and put all the stuff, like woods, bricks, stone, and food, into it, and then they would pull it up. The sky fishers, they would pull it up, take it all out, and then put in their song lyrics or their like record players for the Lanalandians, and then Altoids breath mints, because those were their common things they traded with. So the second job was a traveling merchant, and these people went to Lanalandia to trade face to face. So the workers were commonly men, but traveling merchants were also had a lot of women working in that field. But sky fishers were fully, with a few women sprinkled in men. So while I was looking over my friend's project for this, who made Lanalandia, she said that there was no way to get back up to Swiftyland in her project, but like, how do the traveling merchants get back up? So I have found the cure. Everyone has jetpacks. So, not everyone, but like the traveling merchants all have jetpacks. There's the answer to that. And like I said, trades. Swiftyland traded with Lanalandia often. Lanalandia provided the Swifties with materials not accessible in the clouds and floating islands. And like I said, Swifties needed wood, brick, stone, and food. And then in return, they gave the Lanalandians breath mints and songs. To me, this does not seem like a good trade, but the Swifties thought this was good. And I don't think the Lanalandians had issues with it. So this is the social structure pyramid. At the top was the rulers and the women, because yes. And then right below were the merchants. And if you don't get the references, that's Beetle from Zelda. And the Tanukis are Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy. I love them, from Animal Crossing. The workers were right below merchants, and they were treated as equally. I just wanted to add more steps to my pyramid. The Swifties, aka the common people and residents, were below the workers, and they were not paid due to their unemployment. And then non-Swiftism followers are at the bottom. I don't have images for that because I don't know how to search up non-Swiftism followers on the Google, but I just put a sad face because they are very sad, and they were not granted rights, a house, a job, and they were sometimes banished off the island and given to the Lanalandians to be in their prison, because they had like a massive prison down there. I hope you enjoyed this video and project. Thank you for taking your time to learn about Swiftyland with me. I made this project on Taylor Swift because I love her and her music. Some things you might not have picked up on: the background color palettes on slides 3 and 8 are the color palettes for Taylor Swift's debut album and for Lover. This is slide 3, and the background is a color palette for her debut album for Lover, and also the picture that my friend drew here is also a color palette of Lover. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. Goodbye.